let's also get into Big Brother. Dun, 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 dun.
Listen, I don't know what it says about me that I've thoroughly enjoyed watching them be tortured this week.
Yeah, this was janky week.
Granted, let me say, of the things that you can torture someone with, this was pretty light torture.
Yeah, I mean, they just were camping. They were camping in California
Yeah,
and eating
true.
pizza and ice cream. That is pretty gross, but that's all they ate was pizza and ice cream. But Big Brother is a reality show on CBS. We love it. It's one of our favorite shows. Big Brother this week. We're actually recording. Normally we record right after the eviction episode on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
It's Saturday. And today is now when we're recording, so we know who the HOH is. So we're much more up to date. We know who the nominees are. And depending on when this episode ends, we might know who the veto winner is. All that to say, last week the house guests found out they were going to be staying and playing the entire week of Big Brother outside in the backyard, locked from going indoors.
Even the ceremony, the eviction ceremony was outside.
Yes.
Which, I mean, makes sense, but still, like, usually on eviction night, they're, like, getting dressed, getting ready to the nines. No, they made them wear Janky World colors,
Right.
Janky World merch.
Right.
They sat outside. They did it all outside.
Right. Yeah. It was a little crazy.
You know what's so funny, too? I saw a clip from, like, today where they already were back hanging out outside. Yeah. And I'm like, why are y'all hanging out outside? You've been there all week. But well, I'm sure it's, I know, it's just like you have the option, makes it different.
And you're also the queen of needing to go out and do something, you know what I mean? So
True.
If you've been locked up all day, you're like, and especially in a studio, not
True.
a house, you're like, I gotta get some air.
True.
So yes, and so it was the Janky World and the Janky HOH. Winner was Leah.
Yes.
Which is right on time
Leah's
for her.
first HOH.
If it wasn't for her winning, she might have been up on the block.
You could see her mood just completely flip. I never seen her happier in that house.
She was fun. She was her energetic, bubbly self.
Mm-hmm.
She was doing while the other people were miserable, doing the singing of Janky or whatever the song was.
He made them sing, made them dance.
Right, made them make ice cream.
All through the day, all through the night.
Like T-Core and Mackenzie just,
And Cam, too. Cam was, like, not having it.
Just, moaning through it. And then Leah, you'll see her in the background playing with her Barbie or dancing with her stuffed animal.
Mm-hmm. That was cute. So they had like carnival games set up. And so they had like prizes of like stuffed animals. So they all had like gotten the stuffed animals down and they all had stuffed animals. I thought that was pretty cute.
Yeah, it was their support stuffed animals. It was very cute.
Mm-hmm.
But she was the HOH right on time for her. Mm-hmm. She had just solidified something kind of sort of with Angela.
Mm-hmm.
And Angela.
What's they made a final two. The Lorraines. Because both their middle name is Lorraine.
Angela Lorraine and Leah Lorraine.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of L Angela, Leah. Anyways, yeah, so this comes right on time for them. Which is for the people who wanted just constant, not chaos, but constant turbulence. This was the optimal outcome because Leah and Angela find themselves in the middle of a trio of Mackenzie, Cam, and Chelsea, and Chemo, Rubina, and T-Core.
Yeah, so it made sense. And honestly, they were in a pretty good position. If
who?
Leah and Angela.
Yeah.
If Angela would have won this week, this HOH, it would have been really good for them.
And it's still fine. They have opportunity to win vetoes. They're the veto players this week. Just while we're on it, are both Angela and Leah have the chance to win the veto.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be able to win their way.
Yeah. I don't know. I found myself kind of rooting for them this week, and I try not to like jump on the bandwagon of whoever is HOH, but this season has just been so weird. Like there's usually a side of the house that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on that side of the house. Mm-hmm. I don't even feel like I've been like that this year.
Yeah, me neither. We are rooting because I'll find myself when I say what I'm trying to say is we keep up with the live feeds through updates, tweets, TikToks, Reddit posts, whatnot. And so we watch sometimes too, but we don't have the full attention to just be a reporter about it like we used to.
Right.
But when we're watching the updates, I find myself okay because I know they're underdogs.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with Leah, but even Angela, I find myself going like, this would be a good move for Angela if she pulls it off. But then I see Angela herself and her antics and her whining and crying and victimization.
I know.
And I cannot root for her.
I know.
I just can't do it.
And even this week, T-Core was like, just the sound of her voice is on my nerves. And I'm like, that's so real. I so get that. Like, I totally get. And she was like, she's been so fake to me all summer. And I'm like, she's fake to everyone. Like, I think she's just fake. But I will say, maybe I'm just falling into her trap, but how much she loves the game, I gotta respect. Because I feel like T-Core was very much like not that interested in the game.
Yes, I didn't think it would end up to this point. I agree with you 100%. What we thought, there was a second where I think everyone, fans of T-Core or not, thought, oh wow, she's really playing this game really well. Mm-hmm. But we found out she wasn't playing the game. She really was just looking out for the people she liked the most, which was happened to be Rubina and Chemo.
Yeah.
Her little clique is all she was there to do. It was vibe out with them because she didn't really fight too hard to save herself.
Yeah.
Her strategy, things that we thought were like, oh, good game strategy, was again just be like, oh no, I prefer my friends.
Yeah.
And then what twisted it for me, I was like, oh dang, she's kind of disappointing. What made me actively start to root against her was her entitlement.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why don't they, you know what I mean? And it's just the way. And the final straw is when they started doing, her and Rubina were like, we're the good guys of this season. We're showing the world that you don't have to play cutthroat and you can just play with your heart and love and be your best. I'm like, what are you talking? Once that happens, I'm fully out.
I can understand, like, your heart and your love for Rubina and Chemo, sure. But, like, that's been done time and time again. It's just like a showman's without...
Again, that's how you know they don't watch. They haven't been watching for a long time because season 6 with the Friends Alliance, where they we're just friends or whatever, and was the most hated alliance in America.
Yeah.
Back when Big Brother, it's still watched by tons of people, but was trending a lot more. Or maybe not. Anyways, back in the day, America hated them, and that was shocking for them when they got out of there. If you're in the house, this is a piece of advice. Do not get self-righteous. Just don't. Don't think that all of America's on your side unless it's something like there's a murderer in the house, you know what I'm saying, or a sex offender.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about. But the whole, like, we're going to show what America came to see. It's just like, come on. Rubina seems to think she also has a chance to be America's favorite player. And so she said stuff like, I don't mind coming in second or third if I get America's favorite player. And I'm like, Rubina, that's not happening. And you need to try to come in second.
Yeah.
So you're right. That side of the house doesn't really... And Chemo's a super fan too, but he's done nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying be Quinn.
You're right.
And I'm not saying be Tucker, but
I will
give me more than
he's survived the block a lot though.
But when you start surviving the block just because, well, you know, what is Chemo gonna do?
Yeah.
You're seen as such a non-threat and so I was about to say infertile, but so not sterile, so anemic, whatever, that people just don't even, they're like, we can get Chemo out whenever.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's a little different. Angela has won multiple comps. She is a wild card. And so I think people are saying we'll get her out whenever because she's always going to be a huge target. And Chemo has done nothing. And so it's just like, we're not going to, even if he goes to the final 2 chairs, we're not voting for him to win. So he's not a threat even to win.
Okay, even in this HOH for this week that Leah won, we didn't even talk about that, how it was an endurance comp and it lasted 9 hours and Angela was final 3 in that comp.
Angela was final 3 and I think she lost the mental willpower to continue. What she did, she lost on purpose.
But she made a deal before she went out.
But also I just think mentally it was 9 hours no sleep.
Yeah.
9 hours, however many hours of no sleep, but 9 hours through the night of not sleeping is taxing.
Right.
Even Cam lost it when they volunteered to go stand on one leg, which is how Leah won HOH. We didn't talk about the HOH comp, but go Leah for winning. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you didn't catch on, T-Corp did end up going home. Yeah. Leah targeted their trio. Angela.
All three of the trio were on the block at one point.
Angela decided to use the veto on Chemo, and Chemo's like, this lady's voted me out twice now, and she's using the veto on me. Right. So I guess that was her way of like trying to get back in his good graces. I don't know.
That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Angela, it seems like some people might go like, whatever, me and Chemo are enemies. Yeah. But she's trying to win the game. Yeah. So if without knowing who she is and just seeing the moves, I'm like, I appreciate what you're doing, but she's somebody that is just very kind of like not. I don't think we would mesh well. Yeah. To put it the best way. Yeah. But I think maybe in 2 more weeks I could be like, well, more power to her if she does end up winning.
Yeah. We also saw Chelsea kind of crack this week. Cam and Mackenzie are getting really close with the touchy and the cuddly and the feelies, and Chelsea's had enough. And it just, they had this like fight kind of, and he was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. And finally they talked, and she still wasn't just saying, yeah, I have a crush on you, so I don't like watching you get close to her. She was like, people are going to target y'all because you look like a couple, so you shouldn't be so close. And it's just kind of like, no, that's not really what's happening. Not really what's happening. So my girl Chelsea, I want better for you. Like, let's just kind of maybe put that aside. Let's put our feelings aside. But I get it. But let's put them aside.
I could legitimately have an hour-long podcast about Chelsea, Cam, and Mackenzie. Deep dive into all the social stuff.
I know, it really is a lot. Because even and then even Mackenzie like went to her and was like, do you have feelings for him? Like, I like won't touch him, And she was like, no, I don't. So then of course, and then Mackenzie's like, well, I don't like him. I have Matt and I have some other guy back home. So it's like, okay. So, I mean, she knows that that's what's going on.
Yeah. Again, to keep myself from going on an hour-long rant, I'm going to purposely boil it down, hopefully, really quickly. Cam, anyone with eyes knows what's going on with Chelsea. Cam clearly respects and likes Chelsea enough to not just be like, I don't like you, please leave me alone. He genuinely does, at bare minimum, seem to want to be friends. Yes. And but she is, and so, and that's what it is. He also wants to be friends and establish friendships with Mackenzie, him and Mackenzie both seem to be touchy-feely. Yes. Even with their friends at bare minimum. Yeah. So that's that. But he wants to be friends with Chelsea. She, however, is treating him like her 2-year-old brother, controlling, possessive. And to me, is just kind of really risking taking her game. She's past looking foolish. She does look foolish. Yeah. In spite of that, she is playing a good game. She kept herself off the block, even though she targeted Leah. Leah did not put her up. True. It's undeniable she's playing a good game. This is her one blind spot, though. And there's so much more to it with Chelsea, but she just needs to. At the bare minimum, Cameron does not want to. He doesn't like her like that in the house, and she needs to move on from how she's acting. It's really embarrassing for her. Mackenzie, I think, knows clearly what's going on, but it's also just kind of like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, she's respectful enough that I do think her and Cam have cooled down. We haven't seen any of it as it was in Janky World and before, but I think everyone knows what's up except Chelsea, weirdly.
Yeah.
And she's making it harder a little bit for Mackenzie and Cam to navigate around her, but they still want to play with her.
Yeah.
So they still like each other, but it's also like, I don't know. So,
imagine it comes down to them final 3. What is that going to look like?
Well, the smartest thing to do for Mackenzie and Cam would be to get rid of her.
I know.
And if that happened, she would be like, "Well, see what I say." That would be she would be saying, "I told you so."
Yeah.
But it's just there's so much more to talk about. Probably another thing about it, I know, yeah, we have a podcast about talking about it, but I just don't feel I could do it much more justice than a brief summary.
Yeah.
Than without making it the Chelsea, Cam, and Mackenzie podcast.
You can read the threads on Reddit if you want more.
There's a lot more to it. I just think Chelsea, and you're still a big fan of Chelsea, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I found myself rooting for Leah and Angela this week. Like more. I said, I don't know if I'll say more, but I'll be okay if Leah, Chelsea. If Leah or Chelsea win, I'll be happy. Yeah. Anybody else, I'm kind of like, okay. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I was kind of hoping. This is another thing. A lot of people haven't called her on this, but Chelsea also kind of prevented a full-on girls alliance from happening. I'm not saying it would have happened, but driving a wedge between her and Leah and Mackenzie a little bit kind of kept them from all coalescing.
That's true.
And Cam still kind of stayed.
Because she wanted to drag Cam along.
Right.
And she has dragged Cam along.
Yeah, and Rabina and T-Core were always going to be loyal to Chemo.
Yeah.
But maybe if it was the girls building momentum.
Yeah.
That momentum could have, and I'm not saying it would have happened, but it could have happened maybe without that.
And she wanted to keep T-Core because she had built that bond with T-Core, and it's like, well, if you wouldn't have included Cam, you could have.
And this is my evidence for it.
Well, yeah,
this is my evidence for it. Okay, so on the circle, there were 2 parts of the house of the social media of the circle.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 girls parts of the house, girls wise, that did not like each other.
Mm-hmm.
There was Rachel. And was on one side. Madeline was on the other.
Mm-hmm.
They were forced to make a bond, and we'll talk about that more in the circle. And because of that, they shed the guys that they were with, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And went all in, at least this week, this round of voting.
True.
On a girls' alliance.
True.
And that's how it happened.
True.
People that were like, oh, we're circle husband and wife, shed that. It could have happened if instead of Chelsea going against Leah Mackenzie, that all of them it felt like we were moving towards something, but then that got in the way. Imagine if Madeline had allowed Andy to get in the way, or if Jadeja had allowed, Darian to get in the way of her and Deanna all voting the same way,
right?
So yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, that's what happened in Big Brother House. We had Leah. She was able to break up the trio successfully and T-Core out. I think we both agree it was time for T-Core to go.
Yeah, I mean, any of those 3, I think it was time for them to go.
They're jury voters.
Yeah.
The problem is those 3 are all going to vote the same way, and you have to convince them to vote to win. So
True.
That needs to be back in the back of the winner's mind. How are they going to do that?
True.
And so the HOH comp this week for the newest week was stacking. We haven't seen that episode yet, but we do know that the winner was, if you don't want spoilers, we're about to talk about it, Mackenzie.
Mm-hmm.
She won the HOH for this next week, and her targets are Angela. I think just Angela is who she's zeroing in on, and her nominees were Angela and Chemo, with the hope of targeting Angela. The veto players are, of course, the HOH, Mackenzie, Cam, and no. Well, yes, but Angela and Chemo, and then Cam, Chelsea, and Leah. So basically everybody but Rubina. is a player this week, and Leah. No, just everybody but Rubina.
Mm.
And so we're now at the point where it's winner or go home, basically. And we'll see. Angela's done what she needed to do this far. Will that trend continue? And we know that next Thursday we're gonna have a double eviction episode. So come rain or snow, sun or shine, sun or whatever,
whatever,
hell or high water. we will try to record that Thursday, that double eviction, and so we can get
that's
that
gonna
analysis.
be brutal.
Anything else on Big Brother?
I don't think that's it.
We've got who are we rooting for? Who are you rooting for Big Brother to win at this point? You say Leah,
Chelsea or Leah.
Chelsea or Leah. Who are you rooting against?
Probably probably Cam or Rubina, just because I don't think they've played great games.
And then
Rubina actually has played a better game than Chemo.
Yeah. Who do you think will win?
I think Mackenzie, Leah, or Chelsea.
Mackenzie was in a great spot.
I think Angela might be in the running too if they don't get her out, to be quite frank. Truly. I think if Angela goes to final 2, she wins. 100%. I really do.
100%. In addition, Mackenzie was in a better spot until she won HOH, because I think she could have convinced Angela that she was never really going against her.
Yeah.
But now that she's going against Angela, I don't think Angela's going to vote for Mackenzie if Mackenzie gets her out. Okay. I'm rooting for, I think I'm rooting for, I don't even know what to say.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just rooting, I think I'm rooting for maybe Leah. Maybe I can join you on the Leah. And if we're going to go off just who was the best player, I'm rooting for Chelsea to kind of wise up. I want to root for Chelsea, but I'm like, come on, let's drop the Cam stuff and let's get to playing. Then rooting against, I don't think I'm rooting against anyone. I just wouldn't want to see Chemo or Rubino win. So maybe them. And who do I think will win? I think Mackenzie or Chelsea. That's going to be our winners at this point. Okay, that's it for Big Brother. It was another good. It was a janky week. And